Good afternoon, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon. Sit down, please.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. There is something very interesting in your name. What is that?
Sir, that I don't have K in account spelling of my name.
Why is it missing?
Spelling mistake by my father and it went
Oh,
on.
I thought I was joking, but it is serious.
Yes, sir.
So why can't it be corrected? It's so simple. Or you now have fallen in love with this
Yes, sir. That.
minus K.
Yes, sir.
हाँ K वैसे भी कश्मीर का इशू है बड़ा मुश्किल वाला.
No, sir. That is not the issue. But
नहीं, that is also an issue. Why not? That is a very serious issue.
yes, sir.
So tell us something about Kashmir.
So Kashmir is known as heaven on earth, and it is a part of Jammu and Kashmir. And after scrapping of Article 370, there has been a great motivation of development there, and a lot of people will be visiting there. And I think that Kashmir will also be known in the world now.
But tell me, can this problem vis-a-vis Pakistan relating to Kashmir, can it be resolved sometime soon?
Sir, maybe not sometime soon, but it can be resolved by peace and negotiations if Pakistan follows it, and if Pakistan does not play the dirty games which it has followed, then I think it is possible to resolve this issue. So,
Okay, what else? How would you introduce to the board, not yourself, but the Northeast Delhi? Or suppose, I mean, you were to sell Northeast for tourism purposes. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I'm from Northeast Delhi. Though people find it very congested, but I think that is the beauty of my region, because people find there can be the diversity which is found in my region is not there in anywhere else Delhi, and especially the street food is amazing there. The chaat pakodi and everything is, I think anyone will be in love with if they visit to our place. And especially for shopping, there's this region of Shahadra where all the fabrics are present there, and there is this chota bazaar in Shahadra which is famous for sari and everything.
How's the traffic congestion and the pollution?
Yes, sir. It is something which is a cause of concern, but I think that it can be resolved.
Cleanliness?
Yes, sir. It is an issue over there.
Is it better during last few years?
So yes, I think that it has been improved to some extent, but there's still scope of improvement.
But you didn't sort of formally started with the Northeast introduction. What is Northeast? It's a zone of Delhi, or what is it exactly?
So
Northeast is
it is a district of
it's
Delhi,
a
one of the
district
district
of
of Delhi.
Delhi.
Yes, sir.
How many districts are there?
So 11.
11. How many villages in Northeast district?
That I'm not aware of, sir.
Some guesswork.
So I'm aware of Babarpur village, which I am from, and but I'm not aware of the number of villages.
ऐसे तो मत करिए भाई, अपने ही गांव से वास्ता है. मतलब how can you be contented? You are a civil services candidate. 11 districts, and you have the distinction Northeast of having 11 villages, not one Babarpur.
Okay.
Or maybe more, I'm not very sure, but I guess that it's 11. I feel that you are ahead of time in a way, in the sense that you have completed your graduation amongst other subjects with artificial intelligence. क्या बात है? People are learning of and talking of artificial intelligence just few months, few weeks, or maybe a few years ago, but you graduated almost 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yes, sir. It was one of the subject in 3 years course.
Yeah. The way it is moving, at the pace it is getting into every activity, you think human beings would become redundant? कि यार घर में बैठो, डोंट वरी, हम आपकी जगह इंटरव्यू दे आते हैं, हम आपकी जगह खाना बना देते हैं, everything.
Yes, sir, there's this concern, but in fact, in any technology, when it comes into place, then there's this concern of overpowering human, like it happened while introduction of computers. But I think that when we talk about artificial intelligence, human intervention should always be there, because then it can become a hazard. And for example, when we talk about switching on and switching off a machine, that control should always be with human, and especially the skills, the algorithm which we feed in machines in order to make them deep learning and machine learning. I think that will always be done by human beings, and the training data which we talk about, that will also be given by a human being. So I think that the human being should always be there in the loop, and that should be.
What is the adverse side, challenges or criticism or whatever?
So a major challenge is of biasness and stereotypes which we find in artificial intelligence. It was recently visible in a Microsoft AI, that the result which was given by them was somewhere rude and biased. And second can be that there's this fear of overpowering human and taking over jobs by human beings, and these are the two major issues which we talk about.
Okay, I'll conclude my part by just asking you one very interesting part of your hobby that relates to what? Teaching underprivileged children. How do you teach them?
So there is this place near my home where all the meat of my region live. I went there. Initially, I went there, and then I used to teach children over there. And then after that, I started inviting them at my home only, and I gave them home tuitions, a tuition at my home. And in fact, one of the girl I started teaching at class 5th, she is now studying in University of Delhi, sir.
No, tuition is tuition you give to the regular students, but you are talking of underprivileged. Probably, I assume that those who haven't been to school, they are also part of your endeavor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They are.
Yes, sir. Only
So are they kind of eligible to get certifications, take exams, etc.?
So there are schemes in place where if they find if they join some courses, then they can get certification, at least this prior learning certificate which we call, but none of my student has get that certificate.
No, it's not clear to me. The underprivileged children who haven't been to school and you teach them, coach them, can they go through the processes of writing examination and get certificates for an appropriate class standard that they have cleared this class? Is there any scheme of the government under which they can do it?
So I'm not aware of that scheme, sir.
Have you heard of open schooling, informal schooling?
Yes, sir. I've heard of this concept, but I'm not aware if government is providing such facility.
That is such a huge program which is on for last many years.
I'll read about it, sir.
Yeah, because it relates to your hobby. The last part of this is two small institutions. What is Teach India?
Sir, Teach India is a civil society organization that is working in the teaching underprivileged section only, and they are disseminating this value of education to each and every section of the society, sir.
And what is Teach for India?
So I'm not aware of that.
And what is Hole in Wall?
Sorry, sir.
Hole in Wall.
Yes, sir. I heard about it. This is an initiative which was done in a place in which the hole was done in the wall to teach children in computer skills, sir.
Should I stand up and clap for you? Very well done. Good.
Akansha Gupta,
Yes, sir.
you secured very good marks in your BSc, 90%, but in your law, you scored only 58 point some percent. You didn't put in that much of hard work in that, or what?
So I think one reason is that computer science is a science subject, and you have this advantage of scoring higher, and in subjects like law, you don't get much marks even if you do well. But yes, I would say that I was more deeply into my studies at that time in graduation, and in law I was also preparing for civil services. So somewhere my
Okay. Can you tell me the history of law? When did it started and how this came to India? Who started? Have you some knowledge of it?
yes, India follow the approach of common law, and common law was right from the Britishers law. And in common law, we say that judges have this. Judges can make law by announcing awards and decrees, and whatever they say become a law in itself. And these case laws can be stated by lawyers when they are defending any kind of case afterwards.
My question was history of law, how the law started in India, or the law started in itself. Who started the law first? And secondly, who started the law in India? You have went over to some different context. You can read about it, okay? Now, how many types of law there?
So there's common law, natural law, and positive law, sir.
It's not a civil law, common
Yes, sir.
law, customary law, religious law, and corporate law, isn't it?
Yes, sir, there are.
Why the majority of pharma industries are located in western part of the country?
So one of the reason is the impact of Green Revolution that got major influence in Punjab, Haryana region, and especially the western part of the country, and that gave them the boost that many organizations are there. And also the proximity with the capital and the urban markets may also make them susceptible to forming an organization.
You did not hear the question properly. Please hear that. I say why, what is the reason that most of the pharmaceutical companies are located in western region of the country?
Sir, again, the reason is the proximity of capital and the markets, and the kind of regulatory approvals which you get is there, and that is the only thing I'm aware of, sir.
Read it. Don't give a guesswork. That is not desirable. Okay. Now, pollution is a big challenge in Delhi, and your area is very congested in any case. How to solve the pollution problem in Delhi?
The solutions can be that we should incentivize and promote more public vehicles, which we are doing also, and the introduction of
Public transport, you mean?
yes, sir,
Okay.
public transport. And second, introduction of more rapid transit system like metro has done or else for our city. And third is the construction should be expeditious, so that there is less of pollution by that. And if we talk about stubble burning, sir, there should be mapping of regions from where there are more chances of pollution in our city, and we should regulate and persuade farmers over there to opt for incentives like happy seeder or pusa decomposer, and not go with the stubble burning.
Okay. So, you were head of public relation for Celia. What was this?
So Porcelia was a startup in which we used to facilitate funding for the events which happen in Delhi University, sir.
But is there any similar sounding name in respect to Shakespeare?
I'm not aware of it, sir.
You have not read Shakespeare?
No, sir.
Merchant of Venice?
No, sir.
Huh? It's a very interesting story. The name is Portia. She is wife of Antonio.
Okay, sir.
And he has taken a loan from Shylock. And Shylock is someone who is asking for a pound of flesh because the Antonio is unable to return the money.
I'll
Read
it,
that.
sir.
Now tell me, who are the modern day Shylocks?
So the ones who are working at ground level and providing us with the information, I think.
Do you think that the modern banks are Shylocks?
Yes, sir, they can be considered as modern day Sherlock.
In what respect?
So because they have this They have all the data and content about the country. All the economy.
Not the country, means the person who take money from them.
Yes, sir. They have all the information about the person. They have this Aadhaar, there's this PAN, and there's this linkage of PAN with Aadhaar. And also they are aware of the transaction details of the person, and which in itself tells everything, every activity of the person. So, yes, sir.
Now, tell me, because you have not read the story, so you will not be able to conceptualize correctly. But how does NPA affects our economy?
How does
NPA affects our economy?
So, it impacts our economy because first, that the money is channelized in a wrong way, and it is not able to capitalize in a productive manner. And second is that banks in itself, their balance sheet hampers, and again they are not able to prevent credit in future. So it becomes a vicious circle which hampers the overall macroeconomy of the country.
No, merging of banks, was that a good suggestion or the good action in this regard?
Yes, sir. To some extent, it is a good action because the weakness and the loopholes of some banks can be worked upon by merging them, and the strength of those banks can also be integrated in a bank, and also the provisioning which we do while giving credits will also be strengthened.
Did it have any impact on the NPS?
Sir, I'm not aware of the details, exact figures, but I think it will have a positive impact on NPA.
Tell me why President is always pleased? Presidents and governors are always pleased.
Sir, majorly because
what is the constitutional provision for remaining them always happy?
So because they are the president is considered as head of state, and they are the.
So they have to be they can't be sad.
They are pleased even when they are punishing.
Provisional.
Even when they are punishing, they are pleased.
Even if they are hanging you, they are pleased. What is the constitutional provision?
So because I'm not aware of it, sir.
You had read the Doctrine of Pleasure?
Yes, sir.
What does it say?
Sir, that if we talk about appointments, then each and every appointment is done by president on their pleasure.
Pleasure. Even if one is hanged, it is a pleasure of the president.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I was asking. Okay, my last question to you: remote sensing. You know about this?
Yes, sir.
How does it help you in disaster management?
So, if we start by mapping, then we can map the areas which were hitherto inaccessible by remote sensing, and then after that regulation can be there that each and every minute happening in that region can be sensed by remote sensing. And third, even if some event happens, then it can help in evacuation, and then in rehabilitation and rescuing. Sir.
How frequently you have to measure the maps?
Sir, it should be done at least in a week, sir.
Why didn't we do it in Joshimath? We didn't have maps, or?
Sir, I think that we must be having maps over there, and there were this claim that there was the reports happening even before the Joshimath incident that such accident can be happened, but some regulatory.
Thank you.
Akansha, Northeast Delhi, suppose you want to use your operation research for health improvement of women, how do you do?
Sir, in operational research, we try to find the optimal solution by giving various alternatives. So, if health of women are considered, then the data of women will be very important, that at least we should know that what is the current situation of women health. And after analyzing that data and constraint in the region, in operational research, we take the concept of what is the constraint in the data. So what are the issues lying? why their health is poor, and is there the stereotype or the patriarchal thing involved. So all of these factors can be considered, and then an optimal solution can be brought in by analyzing data of that particular region, sir.
Now let us take policing. You use operation research again for crime, increasing crime against women in Delhi.
So, increasing crime against women have many reasons, and they can be tackled by surveillance. And for surveillance, we will be needed the exact region or exact place that where crime is more susceptible to happen. So, for that, operational research can be helped, can be made use of. And second, in also cases where already criminals are there, then then they can be caught in very expeditious and efficient manner if we use such technologies, sir.
Where do we find the laws to book the criminals? In policing, what are the laws which they follow?
So there's this section 153 of CRPC which talks about FIR. First, FIR has to be
Okay.
yes, sir. In section 43 of CRPC, in which there is provision of arresting a person, a criminal, and there is this concept of cognizable and non-cognizable cases, and police can go with the proceeding without the order of magistrate in cognizable cases, but not in non-cognizable cases. So these are the provisions we find in CRPC. Which is followed by police, sir.
What does IPC? What do IPC provisions do?
So IPC is a substantive law. It tells about what the crimes are and what can be the punishment.
Evidence Act. What is its use?
So Evidence Act is used. It is an act which tells about what are the permissible evidence that will be permissible in the court. So it talks about all of those provisions. For example, electronic evidence we find in section 67B, sir.
Okay. Now, Indian Foreign Service is your choice. The debt crisis that Sri Lanka is facing, how does it impact India's international relation or how does it impact India's security?
So in international relation, because we have diaspora over there and we have this linkage of Tamil linkage, so first impact is that. And so in security, because Sri Lanka is a very important country in Indian Ocean, and which is both strategically and which is strategically important for India as well as our neighboring countries. And third, sir, in economy wise also, almost 70% of the trade is being done in Indian Ocean, and Sri Lanka is a part of Indian Ocean. So the stability of that country is very important for us also, sir.
Do you expect any problems from China in Sri Lanka getting bad to worse?
Yes, sir. China in recent past has been influencing Sri Lanka by following debt trap policy of its, and because of that, there was this event of spy surveillance ship which was there near our boundaries. So such issues always come up, or also infrastructural projects which are being taken over by China in Sri Lanka is also a case of concern, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Akansha, are you aware about prismatic society?
No, sir.
Have you not read in public administration? It's your optional.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have heard it?
Yes.
What is it?
Sir, prismatic society is a society which is in transition. When we transit...
Yeah, very well, I know you know it. So tell me, from your today's observation, 3 observations where you have seen the symptom of prismatic society. India is a prismatic society. So tell me 3 observations.
Sir, in health, I'll talk about we promote allopathy as well as homeopathy.
What you have observed today? Today is important.
So, for example, we are promoting rights of LGBTQ, and we have decriminalized Article 377, Section 377. But at the same time, when we talk about the the right of marriage to LGBTQ, we are having some concerns. So the one is that. And second, sir, in women issues, we are promoting women equality, but at the same time, marital rape is something which we are talking about, and it is not something which we should outrightly follow at this stage of time. And
Okay, let's come to this topic that we have raised, marital rape. Why India is not following it? By the name of it, it's a rape, it's a crime, but still we do not consider it a crime. Why?
so because any step when we take, then it has to be with the consensus of public in general. Also, there are a lot of under trials already in our country, so we should first of all focus on reducing them. And there is this section 498A, which is already there for women if they are facing any kind of sexual and physical or emotional abuse. Though I personally support marital rape, not because marital rape should be criminalized, not because it is yes, there are chances of harassment over there, but I think that women should know that this is something which is wrong, to at least give them this sense that they are protected by law. So in my opinion, marital rape can be considered, though not in stringent manner, but at least to give a hope to women.
Okay, what is section 498A? We just mentioned it.
Yes, sir. So it is a section which women can opt for whenever any sort of physical, sexual, emotional abuse is being done, committed to her by her in-laws or husband.
Is there anything substantial that you are missing?
I'm not able to recollect, sir.
Dowry?
Yes, sir. Dowry.
Okay. You have been a player of table tennis.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between spin and swing?
So in spin, we stretch our move to slow down our game, and there are two types of spin: forward back spin and forward spin, and which is the difference lies in the side of the bat which we are choosing. And swing is when we frequently change our position and our move in order to swing the direction of the ball, sir.
Swing happens in the air. A spin happens off the table. A spin involves friction with a solid material,
Yes.
and swing involves friction with air.
Yes, sir.
And that is correct. Forward swing and backward swing. Last question: what is prisoner's dilemma?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
It's part of operation research.
No, sir, I've not read about
It's part of game theory.
No, sir, I've not read about it, sir.
Okay, quite leave it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Better way.
Thank you, sir.
Never come in front of the chair. Okay? थोड़ा सा उठिए, जाइए वहाँ तक, please. Come back now. Yeah.
Stand
Or
back to
yeah. This is the right place.
Okay, sir.
This is the absolutely right place. That is what you should do. Even when you enter and while you go, get up, stand aside and thank you and look at everybody.
Okay, sir.
Sit down, please.
Thank you, sir.
See, we have very little to add to your performance. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. अब आपको ये बताइए कि what do you want in the feedback?
So any section or anything which I should work upon. One thing is that I didn't get sir's question, so that was my mistake, sir.
Okay. Yes, you are right. We are right. We
that-
talked to you about that.
And
Second.
I think that guess maybe I was not aware of it, and I tried answering that question. So that is one thing, sir.
Okay. See, you are very positive to start with. I mean, you started on a very, very positive note, and almost throughout, the tenor of your answers was very positive. Except on Kashmir, you said not too soon. Can we resolve this problem sometime soon in future? You said not too soon. That was the starting. So never start with a not or a negative.
Okay.
Okay. you immediately say ki, yes sir, we can resolve it, and I hope that we resolve it soon. But then there are kind of difficulties, a lot of emotions and other strategic considerations and things like.
Yes.
It may take time, but surely it seems to be on the cards, something like that. Positive answers are rated as they are the test of your personality, and anything critical or little negative you add towards the end of the answer. There is always a scope. Your answers are short and good. They are not running into miles, which generally people tend to do. So it's a good thing to remind oneself and apply breaks after 4 or 5 sentences. Try and sort of conclude each answer with a kind of concluding line, so to say, which should tell the board that you are clear about the issue and you are taking some kind of stand.
Yes, sir.
Now, yes, there are certain issues where stand taking may not be possible, but then you say both the sides. You say both the sides, and very difficult to, for example, Ukraine, Russia, what will happen? You can always say that peace will have to be this thing, but things are happening so fast, one is not very sure.
Okay, sir.
Leave it open-ended kind of thing, but still you are taking a stand. Only 2 suggestions to you. One is that please wait for the question to finish. Okay, now that wait means you are not, on certain occasions you came out very fast and you came out not to give an answer, you said no, I do not know, I am not aware, isn't it? Why say no in a hurry? If you have to say no, why not allow your brain few seconds to
Yes, sir.
mull it over? So, and small pauses are always very good. They make your personality appear more graceful. You are very graceful, you are very sober, you are a very impressive presence.
Yes.
And but then polish it a bit more, in the sense that pauses are important. A count of 1, 2, 3, wait. Second thing is that you have a nice smile, but you don't distribute it around. You should be looking at, looking towards all the members once in a while.
Yes, sir.
When you're answering somebody, so then there is a gap when you complete, in between, when you complete your answer, after 1 or 2 sentences, you can look to your left and or right side, or that sort of thing. Not to ignore, because you are appearing before the board, not before a single member. And the best part is that where you have answers, you are in control. I mean, you have answers to almost everything and you are in control. You are not going gaga over it, that I know everything. So, when is the interview?
9th March, sir.
9 March. So that would be the time, little winterish kind of feeling, or wo AC room to hota hi hai. So wear a jacket or a coat like this. You intend to wear, or you just want to go in a sari?
So I was not intending, but now I will wear, sir.
Because it is suiting your personality. It looks very nice on you. I think that may not be a very wrong season to wear a small jacket like this.
Thank you, sir.
जो आंसर का लैंग्वेज होना चाहिए ना, वो क्वेश्चन के लैंग्वेज से मैच करना चाहिए. व्हेन आई से कि व्हाट डिड यू ऑब्जर्व टू एज ए प्रेग्मेटिक सोसाइटी, लैंग्वेज ये होना चाहिए कि आई सॉ दिस,
I observed. Use
this.
the same language
Okay, sir.
to begin with.
ठीक है. वैसे सर ने बोला था कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस,
Now you'll be happy. The questioner will be happy.
हाँ ठीक है. तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस खत्म कर देगा क्या, तो आपने बोला कि आर्टिफिशियल ऐसा होना चाहिए, शुड बी वाज योर लैंग्वेज, व्हिच इज नॉट अप्रोप्रिएट. क्वेश्चन कुछ और पूछा गया है.
That shows 2 things. One is listening capacity. Second thing, the questioner will be happy. Okay. you are identifying with him.
Chalo, let
Okay.
her go in
thank
peace.
you.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
All the best.